one of the things that when I was on that lecture, that Pound lecture, he was talking about Pound's obsession with the troubadours.
Okay,
a lot of it is because he thought that the troubadour tradition was evolved from like a Gnostic, like, yeah, or just like a heretic sect of Christianity that still had pagan elements of the worship of the divine feminine.
Wow.
And they kept that in the love poetry.
That's what I was trying to say in the piece I wrote.
And then, you know, that evolved into fucking Dante's.
Yeah.
Right? That was the culmination of the whole, like, secret goddess
Interesting. Sect. That's the connection.
Yeah.
Mary Magdalene being included.
This, you know, which I got from the Da Vinci Code, and I think about all the fucking time, which I think is so. I was trying to explain this to my grandma. My grandma's so funny because she's like a spiritist.
Yeah.
And so she was saying like spiritists believe in faith. It's like no, it's science, history, and fucking I forget what the triangle was, but it's not to like you can't have unbased beliefs in spiritism. Like it's a science-based thing. And then she's going like, Noah's Ark is bullshit. Like, what are you gonna have? 2 fleas and fuck you can't that that don't make any sense. And then she goes and then she'll say something crazy like, she'll be like, but we know for sure that aliens built the pyramids.
This is how my mom is. She be saying some wild shit. Like, I'm like, how do you know that?
But then I was trying to tell her like what matters to me is like I don't care about whether that story is the mythic undertones of the story, like what the myth means.
Right.
And the Mary Magdalene thing is if her excision from, and I mean, the Da Vinci Code's good, sparked all, but her excision from the story, the Christ story, and I don't care if it's true or not, that she was, if she had whatever relationship she had with Christ, the excision is what you're doing. By doing that is you're not forgiving Eve. And that's set back morality and ethics or whatever for thousands of years. And what Dante is unknowingly doing and the whole divine feminine tradition is unknowingly doing is you're propping up a human woman so that you're forgiving Eve by doing that. That's you're putting that half of the story back into it. Because Adam was always forgiven with Christ. It took, Beatrice is like, even though she's still too pure for it, honestly. You need to. What you need is to divinate some fucking fucked up woman.
Bruh.
That's what you got to do for the completion of the story.
Well, it's so funny, right? Because how are you interpreting? Are you forgiving Mary Magdalene, or are you loving the Virgin Mary?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's easy to love the Virgin Mary.
It's easy to love the Virgin Mary.
She's the best.
Yeah, she's the best. Yeah. No one's ever fucked her. No one ever fucked her.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah,
easy. What about Caddy?
Yeah, seriously.
What about Caddy?
Yes, exactly.
The band came to town, and he was a cool, and Little Quentin.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I'm doing the full annotated Sound of the Fury?
No, wait.
I didn't tell you.
No.
I was editing before you came because I didn't do my fucking Patreon. I'm gonna be back, Patreon.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the full annotated because like Merv does like the annotated Miss Dalloway.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm doing the full live Chantal Connery full live annotation of Sound of the Fury.
Are you really?
It's live annotation. So I'm reading it to you.
You're going through the book?
I'm reading it to you. I have 4 episodes, 4
and
hours.
Explaining it? That's
I'm explaining it. I'm doing sidebars randomly.
Yeah.
And it's like...
That's amazing.
And then I listened back on it one day. I was chopping wood. I was like... I wasn't even really listening to what I was saying. But I was like, this is very calming.
Yeah,
it's kind of ASMR. Yeah. I'm tending to the fire. It's kind of ASMR.
So you're put the hose to sleep. Reading it out loud and fucking... That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Put the kids to sleep.
That's funny.
Some bedtime stories.
And
I'm like, oh shit. But see, because Caddy is the...
Yeah,
but then look at Quentin's there, and then look, the man with the red tie came to town.
Yeah,
and he's
I
hot.
love that. The Sound of the Fury is so
yeah,
good.
And Lester says, "Oh, I reckon he could play it. You the boy could play the saw."
Yeah,
and he goes, "We better come tonight." He's like, "I would if I had a quarter."
Yeah, he's trying to get the quarter.
Yeah, but of course,
and he's trying to get the quarter that whole first part with Benji, right? Yeah, that's funny.
But then Benji sees little Quentin, and then Quentin's got boys coming into her window.
Yeah.
So
and then she leaves through the window.
I know, but that's Mary Magdalene.
So she leaves right through the window of her sin, right? She gets resurrected through her sin.
But exactly.
Because that's there's the big resurrection at the end of the Sound of the Fury, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, that's so good.
But what you're saying is, we have to tie the myth to the present.
Yeah.
There's loving Beatrice. Because, what was going on with his wife? Dante's wife.
Yeah, she betrayed him.
Right. But can you forgive?
Well, he couldn't. See,
so
if he had made his wife the damn...
But see, there's forgiving the pure... untouchable one
would have never betrayed me.
Who's not gonna?
Not a whore. She didn't kick me out of my fucking city.
Okay, I have that.
Yeah.
Okay, I have that level. Then there's betraying. Then there's forgiving.
Yeah.
The living Beatrice.
Yeah.
Who might call you out on everything.
Yeah.
And takes active patience. Then there's betraying. Then there's forgiving. The real Mary Magdalene.
Yeah. She should get it.
Who is just relentless.
Yeah.
Still relentless.
Yeah.
We'll go to the ends of the earth. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Well, Adam forgives Eve in Paradise
Lost. But the Gnostic, yes.
But he don't.
But he don't forgive Lilith.
Well.
Where did Lilith go?
Yeah, that's his first wife.
The first wife, who's
they kind of like that was like, oh
yeah, they said
delete,
you ain't even in. Yeah, that's what I'm like the Bible writers. Yeah. I'm just deleting shit out.
This
maybe that ain't right, dude.
The book I'm reading this The Past. It's actually called The Past. That by Alan Pauls, who's this Argentine writer. This is like from 2003.
That book looks sick, dude.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know if you've seen the little part I translated.
I fucking haven't hit it yet. God, I've been spurging.
No, there was. So
what's wrong with me?
What? So he starts out. He was with this woman at the very beginning. He's living with this woman, Vera.
Okay.
Right, and all of a sudden he gets like his fucking buzzer rings, and no, I forget. But anyway, no, what it is it's his birthday party, right?
Okay.
And a friend of his, Vera, sets up the birthday party, and a friend of his gives him a little note, and he's like, "I'm sorry, like." She just told me to give you this. I'll give you this. And it's a little note from his ex, this Sophia, right? Who he was with for 12 years from when he was like
Vera
a teenager.
Means truth, right?
Vera means truth, and Sophia means wisdom, right?
Yep.
And Vera is Nabokov's wife. I think he knows.
Yeah,
he knows Nabokov because he mentions Ada in there.
Okay, yeah.
But so Sophia used to always give him these little notes. She would always give it to him when he was like out. She would slip it in his pockets or whatever. And it was always these little notes. The book is kind of like, I mean, it's sick because it focused. Then it goes back into the past of their whole relationship. And the little part I translated was when they were teenage. They had just been dating for 6 months, and he's out with a friend of his at the bar, and his friends like hose around. And he's like, I don't know how you can fucking stick with one girl forever. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he goes on this long rant about love and trust. And if you have trust, then it eliminates. He meant to say it abolishes all the other desires, but he said it suspends them instead, which becomes a key fact later.
Wow.
And then he makes this impassioned speech, and he's later relating this to Sophia, this impassioned speech he made about love and trust and togetherness. And she goes, I
fucked your friend.
Yeah, I fucked Raphael.
Whoa.
and he just like starts crying like a little bitch. And then imagining like hurting her and all this stuff that could happen. And she's not even reacting to his crying really. And she kind of touches him, and he gets so embarrassed that he immediately stops crying. And then he's like, it says something about it'll take a catastrophe to tear him away from this woman. Like no man, no woman can do it. And he forgives her for that.
Okay.
Then, right, and she just says like, call me later. But eventually they end up kind of splitting apart, and then she's pining after him forever, and he's kind of doing coke. He's a translator, right, and he's doing coke and translating all day and fucking getting all fucked up. And he's living with this new broad.
Sick.
And she's kind of following him. The old girl's following him around the city, and she's fucking calling him all the time. And it's good. Now it seems like a third girl's going to get into this. Some broad he met at the translation department. He don't know what he wants. Whoa. But that's kind of like...
Interesting.
And it's all third person from, but it don't change perspectives. It's all his perspectives.
Yeah.
So you kind of believe him when he says this impassioned shit about love and not. But then he's with some other girl, and you don't even know totally why he left the other one. He just seems he got bored, and he's on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And so you don't see his thinking about his error, or like he's coked out and he don't even know he's fucked up all the time, right? You just see him in it. So I mean, it's pretty sick. I'm like 300 in.
Sick. I like that we can assign this Gnostic understanding to like the very human, everyday, very readable mode of telling stories about trying to deal with these relationships and
but
but you say you were calling him a little bitch when he was saying that, because that's a funny thing where
no, I mean, because a little bitch, I'm thinking of myself.
Well, yeah, because I got into this argument with Amelia one time where I was saying something, I don't know what I was saying. I was popping off. Because whenever you start reading all this Dante stuff and all this troubadour stuff, it's like, I sometimes be saying stuff like where like, like you're so wise. Like I listen to whatever you say, like, and she said something where she was like, yeah, like you're weird about that stuff. Like you're like, she's like, you're like, and she's used the word cuck. She's like, it's like kind of like weird. I was like, what? I was like, okay, it's simp. You mean to say simp? You'll find out. Yeah. You'll find out if you think that I'm to a fault.
Yeah.
If you fucking ever cross me, you were like, I cast you out to the fucking to the depths of the earth. But I was like, she was like, whatever. I'm like, it's not whatever. Yeah. It's very different.
Yeah.
But you do be getting to that where you're kind of like, you become a little simp.
No.
You're like, all right, well, whatever mommy says.
Yeah. See, that's like.
But it's Gnostic. Yeah. It's Gnostic wisdom. Yeah, it's fucking the troubadours. I'm fucking Mary Magdalene.
The scary